Got that shit in there.
From the 757 to the 713, well, you know we stay whipping through the streets. Some will call it swinging bang, some will call it slow ride. I just call it cruising to the beat.
It's the Cruising Podcast.
Cruising to the beat.
It's the Cruising Podcast.
Cruising to the.
Yo, welcome back to another edition of the Cruising Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Cruz, and today is July 28th. Monday. Yes, we are back, black, and better than ever. I think. I don't know. I might be better than ever. Don't know. But we're here. We're here, baby. We're here. So, first, I would like to say, sorry for the long layoff. Needed a little bit of a break. Well, not a little bit of a break. Just we've been moving, and so all the moving and everything like that. It kind of just takes. Something had to go on the back burner a little bit. It was the podcast. There's a lot of stressful things going on, and at the same time, other things popping up and things. But we're here. We're here now. And that's old news. Got a couple Porsche trucks, couple old schools. I line your ass up. Get the tape backwards. Cause I'm a real and I don't like rappers. Okay, sorry. And that ain't this. And this ain't that. And I'm strapped. When we're real, that will cut your throat. And we don't drink Pepsi. We all sell. Yeah, okay. Sorry, my fault. Sorry, that's a little Jeezy for y'all. If you guys don't know, that was Jeezy, Young Jeezy, or Jeezy, our name he goes by right now. The only reason why you're probably hearing me kind of like censor myself a little bit is because I'm trying to not curse within the first 10 minutes of the pod. It's very difficult because YouTube likes to mess with algorithms. Okay, and I want to make sure I hit all the algorithm. The algorithm, I want to hit it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So this pod is mostly, not just mostly. This episode is about Superman, the movie, and some other things, other media that is Superman right now that needs to be talked about. I just would like to say. So with that. Where you can find the Cruising Podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Patreon, YouTube, anywhere you can find podcasts needs. That's where you can find the Cruising Podcast. Also, we find latest updates to the show is on Instagram at Cruising Podcast, also on Twitter at Nicetown Finance. And I just did a Patreon episode that's about Cam Newton besmirching the name of Jalen Hurts. So if you guys get a chance, definitely go check out the Patreon. It's only $3 a month, and you will enjoy yourself. Go take a seat, get the popcorn ready, because Cameron lost his mother trucking mind. Not my nephew Cameron, but Cameron Newton. Okay, Cam Newton. Some of you I'm going to call him by his government. Maybe Cam is his government. I don't care. Cameron. Okay, Cameron. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. If you listen to Patreon, you will understand why that's important that I'm saying it like that. Just putting it out there. $3 a month. You'll find out why. Just same name, Cruising Podcast. You see my face. So, all right. Okay. Continuing on. Sorry. So, I would like to say, Superman, I'm unfamiliar with your game, buddy. Ooh. Pretty much the first superhero ever. And they fumbled. I will say this. I love Man of Steel. Now, Batman versus Superman, terrible. Justice League, fucking horrible. Damn it. It was horrible. Not horrible, wasn't great. Wasn't a good movie. Let's just be real. Him showing up at the end of Black Adam, sorry, spoiler if you haven't seen it, not gonna happen. The fight's never gonna happen, so you're welcome. Yeah, not a good movie. But lately, Superman content has been off the chain. Okay? first, actually, it's been on the chain for quite a while. As Christopher Reeves killed it. I mean, like, I'm not Christopher Reeves' first two Supermans were great. I think Superman 3 might have been good. I gotta remember. Definitely Superman 4 was horrible. That's just they should have just stopped at 3. Cut bait on 3. I think that's that. I would have cut the bait on that one, buddy. Superman Returns with Brandon Routh, who's playing Christopher Reeve's Superman. That wasn't good either. It was not good, not at all. Hugh Jackman probably was the greatest Lex Luthor until you had Michael Rosenbaum. Then we got Smallville, which was a great Superman. I mean, well, we had Smallville before Superman Returns. My bad. Let me make sure I chronologically have it correct, kind of. Yeah. And then we had animated adventures of Superman and stuff like that, which was actually pretty good. Superman comics actually been pretty good. Well, I'm actually familiar with your game, Superman. But lately, it's been like S tier content for Superman. Let's go down the list. Superman and Lois. CW's take on Superman and Lois. Superman loses his power for like Clark Kent pretty much loses his power for like, a year or two, and then they somehow have superpower twins. Or they have twins. Were they both superpowered? I don't think they were. I think one was. No, they both ended up being yes. Okay, yeah. Sorry, spoiler. My bad. I spoiled that one for you guys. My bad. It's always the weird one though. So don't. I mean, like, let's be real. It was very obvious. It's Superman. He had sex with a human. Clearly, they're gonna have superpowers. One of them at least. I'm gonna say this. Superman and Lois, other than Arrow and the Arrowverse, Superman and Lois was the best Arrowverse show of all time. It's the best one. Best CW verse, however verse you want to say. That's the best one. Mostly because it was shot way different. It was acted way different. It was presented way different. And I think it was presented better differently. You had the teen drama where one kid gets power, other one's jealous of the other one getting powers, shit like that. But it was actually very well done. And the way they ended it, they did it justice, ending it the way they did. And I think that we don't talk about that show enough. It's not talked about enough. It was very well done. If like dead serious, like this is me serious face. Yeah. That show was very well done. Second, My Adventures with Superman. Now we've had 2 seasons of this show so far. Holy mother goose. Superman, it's the argument. Is Superman stronger than Goku? Because that's literally what he is. I think he's voiced by Jack Quaid. And no, yeah, he's voiced by Jack Quaid. So I'm going to say this, that Adventures with Superman takes anime storylines, takes anime drawings. Like, it looks anime. It's if Superman was an anime. And has all the influence of it, everything. When Kara comes down in the second season and they're fighting against Brainiac also, like, y'all have to understand that this show was very well done. It was kind of quick. I like that most Superman content right now, we're not seeing Jonathan Kent die again. It was like watching Jason Todd get beat by Joker. We went down that storyline before. Like, it's nice that we are not going through an origin story. Like, his origin story can be mixed in while you're telling the actual plot of the show. And My Adventures with Superman is so well done that you forget that like you never seen an origin story of his, or you get a little bit of it. I really think that you guys will enjoy if you like anime, but you also like cartoons, like American Western cartoons. This show has a very good blend of both, and I completely enjoy this show. I'm one of the biggest Superman haters. I think he's the most basic fucking superhero of all time. I think that's the most basic build of all time of a super. He's impervious, he runs fast, and he can fly, and has laser beams for his eyes. You know what I mean? It has laser beams for eyes. And how's he still see after he does it? But I have some questions. And the only thing he can't see through is lead. I think it's lead, right? I think it's lead. Um, yeah, that's about as basic as it gets. And the only thing that can fuck him up is a little green space rock that's from a destroyed fucking planet. Yeah, yeah. He's pretty much a basic superhero. Pretty much a basic thought of what a superhero would be. Plus, he has on a cape. I mean, that just tops it off of how fucking whack he is. But it's okay. I mean, not all of us can have Batman in our life. But but I would like to say that My Adventures with Superman is very good. It's not even that I hate to admit it, because I am a comic book fan. I'm not one of these DC and Marvel people like, I'm only on one side of that. No, fuck that, yo. Comic books are for all of us. It's supposed to be enjoyed by everyone. So why is there like an argument between DC and Marvel? There's no. I pick up both comics every time I go to the comic book store. I don't give a shit. Also, by the way, the absolute series of comics, especially Superman's, absolute Superman's. Oh my god! Oh, oh. Yes, yes. Okay, continuing on. Lastly, I would like to say that David Cornsweet. Well, I'm sorry. Like maybe David Cornsweet is a very good Superman. James Gunn take on Superman in the movie, right? It's just Superman. I think that's all it's called. I think they tried to name it something else, but I'm glad he did not put any other fucking caveats with this. But Superman in the movie was vulnerable, can get his ass whooped, and felt human at times. And what's great about James Gunn is that the minor characters are so important to the story that they're not just background characters. They're not just like people that just, hey, you know, this is comic relief or this. They mean something to the story. And the way he puts characters together on screen with great actors is it's just masterful. And this Superman felt like hopeful. Like I think Henry Cavill is the best Superman. Is probably even though Christopher Reeves is probably my Superman that I grew up with, and also Dean Cain was a really good Superman too, by the way, in Superman and Lois. Just putting it out there. That was the Adventures of Superman and Lois, if I remember correctly. But we're going to continue on. Sorry, my bad. When we put David Cornsweet against Henry Cavill's Superman felt like a god amongst everyone else, that's pretty much what he is. And it felt like that was Zack Snyder's take on what he thought Kal-El / Superman is as a god amongst humans, which, yeah, other than having omnipotence, he had everything else. So for me, David Cornsweet's or James Gunn's portrayal of this Superman is that he's not as impervious as we think. Lex Luthor is way smarter than we think, and he can build a machine without kryptonite to fuck him up. Or build a person. I'm sorry, Ultraman. Build Ultraman to a point to where he can beat the shit out of Superman and give him some fits. Hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. Sorry about that. My computer was about on death's door with battery life, and I had to I had to run a little bit. I do a little running. So, Lex Luthor built a person that can really fight against Superman. Makes him look like he's not invincible or a god amongst humans. He can actually get fucked up. And he needs the red, yellow sun to help him. And this Superman gave me hope to where, yeah, Henry Cavill was a great Superman, but the way they wrote his Superman was that he was pretty much the cheat code. Against, like, you know, with especially with the Justice League, man, we need to get Clark back, man. He's the only one that can. Superman's the only one that can save us. He's the only guy. Yeah, I mean, he and then you went with a Doomsday story, literally off the rip. So what the fuck are we doing? Why did we even try this? So what I like about what happened with this Superman is that he's fighting against humans that of course are enhanced, especially the engineer, you know what I mean? And he also had to deal with elemental man or whatever the fuck he was, that can make kryptonite out of his hands and shit like that. But he felt like I said, Superman is a symbol of peace. No, a symbol of hope. I'm sorry, symbol of hope. And in every turn where he could have went left, he decided to stay straight on the straight and narrow and still be hopeful. You know what I'm saying? Still give you hope. And I'm sitting here watching, I'm just like, this shit is fucking good. The only thing that I didn't really like about the movie was that they made Jimmy Olsen feel like he was a player, or he, you know what I mean? Like, we know Jimmy Olsen as Superman's biggest fan and nerd, and he's a photographer, things like this. I guess it is a different take on Jimmy Olsen that was kind of fun, but kind of wasn't. I think Rachel Brosnahan is the perfect Lois Lane. I thought that she was a great pick for Lois Lane. I really do. Midge from Marvelous Miss Maisel. If you guys watch her on Marvelous Miss Maisel, you will completely understand why they casted her as Lois Lane. She was the right fucking pick to be Lois Lane. She gives you investigative journalist vibes. Plus, she's a smartass. Plus, she doesn't take any shit. So, I really think that they did a really good job at casting with this. Making, oh my goodness, what is his name? Oh my God. Nathan Fillion. Nathan Fillion is Guy Gardner. It was perfect. It was a great pick. It was a great pick. It was, is it Elizabeth Merced? I know it's Merced. I know her last name is Merced. Her as Hawk Girl is shit. That was good. That they did that, and then I forget bro's name. I'm sorry, I forgot your name, man. I know it's like a very African name, so it's going to like me messing it up. I will ruin your name. But you played Darwin in X-Men, and I felt like you got hoed. We all know you got hoed. We all understand you got hoed. You know what he was good in though? You guys y'all gonna be mad at me when I say this. You know what he was good in though? If that's him. Yes, I think that is him. He was really good as Lucius Fox. If that's him. I think that is him. No, is that the same? Yeah, it's the same person. He played Lucius Fox in Gotham. Might be wrong. but I'm pretty sure I'm right. He played Lucius Fox, and he was really good as Lucius Fox in Gotham. Damn, he likes comic books. Okay, I like that. And he's played in DC and Marvel. That was yeah. I mean, hey man, hey, dip your head in damn pockets. That's cool. But what's great about him is that he made Mr. Terrific pop on screen, and he stole the scene every time he was on screen for sure. I think the Mr. Terrific on Arrow was okay. I thought he was good, but not great. They really didn't. They changed his storyline a lot. Mr. Terrific in the unless it's a different one. I think that's the same Mr. Terrific. So I just CW kind of like they in some ways they sometimes drop the ball. Sometimes they did a really good job. Sometimes they didn't. But I think that he was a really good, like I said, James Gunn knows how to get these character ensembles to make the film that much better, to bring comic relief, to bring the sadness, to bring this, that, and the third, like to bring everything together, all the emotions together, and these ensemble casts with some people are relative unknowns. Of course, David Cornside, I think this is like his first major film or major project. Also Philly, I think he's a Philly native and also Eagles fan. So yay, go Birds! David Cornsweet. Hey, Superman's from Philly. Fuck you. Okay, sorry, my bad. All right, continue on. But seriously though, I think that with everything, like the whole storyline, the whole way they treated Superman in this movie, the political things that, of course, were going on in this movie, I really think they did a great job. I think they did an amazing job at putting everything together, taking the time out to make sure that you hit every mark that you can find. And I really think that James Gunn outdid himself with this fucking movie, because this needed to be good. By the way, this could not be bad. This could not be. If this was a bad movie, that would have been the end of DC. I really like DC movies. That would have been the end of it. You fuck up the biggest superhero. As much as I love Batman, don't get it twisted. I know you guys are like, what about? Ain't you a Batman fan? I'm an honest Batman fan. Probably Superman has more fans. So the biggest superhero name in comics, if you fuck that movie up again, I think DC films would have been off the map. I think Warner Brothers probably would have had to sell everything. Like, and that's me being dead ass serious with you guys. And so I think that they pulled it off very well. I'm proud of this film. I'm glad that I heard that it just reached over 500 million. We're not going to see $1 billion movies anymore, mostly because movie theaters. I have one gripe with movie theaters. By the way, I did go see Fantastic Four. I will talk about that a little bit later this week. But I have a big one. Look, if you want people to show up to movie theaters and go start seeing movies and things like that, having 30 to 40 minutes of previews is by far the dumbest fucking way to keep people there. Like, I might not go back to the movie theaters for a while, because I was sitting here and I'm like, all right, the movie starts at what time? 11:30, something like that. It started at 10:30. So it started at 10:30. And the movie part did not start until 11:05. Some shit like that. I was looking at the time. And then when it looked like it was about to start, they did an Avatar trailer. And I was like, what the fuck? And so, hold on one second, y'all. Sorry, y'all, I had to pause twice, man. I heard a cat meow, and I'm like, why is the cat meowing? I guess she was in the door behind me. Yeah, you guys see this door behind me? She was in there. I don't know what she was doing in there. It wasn't a closet. It's not a closet. I promise you that. But she was in there and meowing. She jumped on top of on top of whatever, the sink in there, and like said, all right, I'm gonna meow now right here because you clearly can't fucking hear me. So I heard you. Sorry. My bad. Yeah, Superman. Like I said though, man, James Gunn has done an amazing job with this one. Like I said, this is the biggest superhero, and to fuck this up would have been very bad. Like the last time we seen Superman on the big screen, it was a very bad fucking movie. Justice League. Yes. It's a bad movie. It wasn't a good movie. It wasn't a mediocre movie. It was a bad fucking movie. That's the last time we really seen him on the big screen. And then like a cut, of course, the cut scene to in Black Adam. That's the only time we've seen him last. So for this to work, they needed to make sure that this was a good movie. For this Gods and Monsters, I think that's what he called this first little part of the DC project. Yeah, if this did not work, it would have been the end of the live actions to me for DC for sure. So I would just like to say I enjoyed the Superman movie. If you guys have not yet, please go check that movie out. Also, like I said, I know I've given you guys a lot, but please go check out My Adventures with Superman, and also go check Superman and Lois. Great movies, great TV shows. Also, if you want to go nostalgia, old school, great old school shit, definitely go. I would definitely tell you guys to please go watch Smallville. Yeah, Tom Welling as Clark Kent. And Michael Rosenbaum as Lex Luthor. Yeah. Okay, sorry, my bad. Sorry, that was a little bit too much, a little scary. I'm sorry, it was a little evilish, and that I did not mean to do that. I'll listen to Talkville today. That was my problem. So, with that, I'd like to say thank you guys so much for listening to the Cruising Podcast. Yes, this was all about Superman and some of the content that's been coming out. Also, go read Absolute Superman. That's fuck yes, man. Okay, sorry. Continuing on. So with that, I'd like to say I love all you guys so much for listening to the podcast. Sorry that we haven't really had any come out lately, but we will be having a lot more coming out in the next couple weeks. Pretty much for next couple forever, hopefully. But with that, one more time, where you can find the Cruising Podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Patreon, YouTube, and anywhere you can find podcasts and so you can find the Cruising Podcast. Also, you can find latest updates to the show is on Instagram at Cruising Podcast, also on Twitter at Nicetown Finest. And with that, I'd like to say I love all you guys so much. Thank you so much for sticking with the pod. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and I'll catch you guys later. Deuces.